Hello, let's see what's going to emerge for us today. Let's dive right in, and we have in position number 1, which is our mask position, we have the moon card. This is an interesting moon card because it's like the moon is, it's actually a crescent moon, but it actually has this reflection of being full. So that's kind of an interesting twist on the moon. And I like how the moon is like, it looks like it's full, but it's like the reflection off of the water that's making it look like it's full. So and when we're talking about, when we're doing a reading that talks about masks in a way, or the things that we need to maybe evaluate or look at in our lives. When we're talking about the moon is all about things that are hidden. Things, it's all about things that are hidden from us, or maybe that are in our subconscious that need to come to the surface at this time. And I like how that is on the surface. It looks like the moon is sitting on the surface of the water, and with the reflection of the full moon from the crescent moon, it's kind of giving this visualization that there's more than meets the eye, that there's more here to be felt, there's more here to be seen, that maybe we just haven't, we're just on the surface of it, and that we need to dive down deeper into something today. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what that might be. So let's see, what deck do I want to use? I think I want to use the Spirits and Shadows for this. Give me a card on this, on the moon here. So we have Necropolis. Give me one more with this Necropolis card. Mischief. So what I'm getting here is I feel like that when we're looking at something that's wanting to come to the surface, something from the depths that's wanting to come to, like we're just touching the surface on something that we're needing to look at this time. Really, maybe a little bit of shadow work that needs to come up and come through. Well, one thing I want to mention really quickly here, for those that might be new to the channel, these readings are here to just provide a safe space for you to be reflective and introspective on things. So this is just to help you maybe bring up some questions that you can explore on your own, in your own time, to see, because they may or may not resonate with you, and maybe if they do, there's this kind of gently guide you toward thinking about some of these topics or some of these things to see if there's anything more that you want to explore with them. So with that being said, we have the Mischief card and the Necropolis. So we have this thing of something that needs to die, that needs to end, with the Necropolis card, and then we have this Mischief, which is almost like this trickster energy. So there's this kind of something that maybe, we may be tricking ourselves or deceiving ourselves in some way, shape, or form, and oops, sorry, I kicked the cable. That's what needs to come through at this time. And so we'll go ahead and go into the next position. The next position is position number 2 is the mirror. In the mirror position today, we have, I think this is the Knight. Yes, the Knight of Wands. So the Knight of Wands in this position is telling me that we may need to act quickly on something, or that we're very busy right now, or there's something to that effect. I feel like, because this position's about what externally may be showing us what we need to look at or do at this time. And with it being the Knight of Wands, I feel this card, when I looked at it, it gave me this feeling of I'm busy, things are hectic, I'm just, life is maybe moving a little bit too quick, or there's a lot on my plate plate I need to do, that I'm running around here and there getting things done. I've just got, so much on my plate or so much I have to do that I just feel like I don't have any time, is kind of this impression that I'm getting. And that might be, with this trickster energy, with the death coming out on the moon, maybe there's something bubbling up to the surface for you right now. Or if you're here and you're interested in this reading and you're still here, maybe there's something that's bubbling up around the fact that, why are you so busy? What's keeping me so busy? Why am I, why is my life so hectic? How can I find more peace or bring more peace into my life? Maybe your soul is something's coming up within you that's saying, hey, we need to pause and take a break. We need to slow things down a bit because our life is too hectic, and maybe there's something in going on that brought you here. That's because that's the fact. That's the thing that needs to be looked at or needs to be pondered on. Or I'm trying to say, learn to say kinder words. But I really feel like the true heart of the message that's coming, that's slowly unraveling here for us today, is there's a need to look at how busy our schedule is and why are we so busy, and why are we involved in so many things, or why do we feel that we need to do all these things. There might be a need to look at all of what we're doing and try to understand why we feel all this is important, or how can we find time right now in our lives to calm, maybe take a deep breath, kind of have a pause, or to find, or to change something to make our pace a little bit slower than what we've been having recently. So the third position, we'll go ahead and go into that. The third position that we have is the Seven of Cups. This is the flame position. The flame position is kind of what's bringing us to the table right now. This is the passion or desire. The flame is the fire that is driving the overall mask position, so this is the Seven of Cups, is what's encouraging us to look at that moon energy. And so this is saying, and again, it's all these things. And I said with the Knight of Wands that I really felt that Knight of Wands was about having too many things on our plate. We might be juggling too many things at this time, and something kind of needs to give. So I like the way that she's looking up at all of these cups, and she's even got cups in her hand. There's all these cups. And so she's like evaluating and looking at these different cups. But I feel in the context of this reading, it really is hitting home that you might be somebody that has a little bit too much on your plate, and what drew you to this reading. And if you have a lot on your plate, kudos to you that I appreciate you for being here. But that also tells me, if you do and you were drawn to this reading and you're taking the time to listen to it, it is your subconscious, it's your inner being, your inner self that is trying to give you the message and tell you that maybe something needs to give in your life right now. You've got too much going on, and that your body or your soul, something inside of you is screaming, we're doing too much. Let's slow it down. Let's get some stuff off of our plate at this time. So next we have in the fourth position, this is our boundaries position. So it took me a minute when I looked at this, when it came out, we had the Eight of Wands coming out for the boundaries position. Well, what the heck does the Eight of Wands, which is all about like fast action and communication and blah, 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 fast energy, fast action, something happening fast. What does that got to do with boundaries? Well, again, what do we need to say no to? What are we talking about in this reading? We're doing too much. Again, we have all these wands, just like we had all these cups. There's too much going on. You know, so the what we need to say no to at this time, it all has to do with that we need to, you know, like really evaluate what we're putting our energy into. You know, what are we giving to? What are we extending ourselves out to? You know, what do we need to say no to? What do we need to take off of our plate? So that's the boundary here we're saying yes to too many things and not saying no enough to make sure that we can strike that balance between having too much or not enough, where we can find that healthy balance where we have a good work play balance, you know, where we can relax. We can still get a lot accomplished, but relax as well. So I really feel like that's the heart of the message. So let's go ahead. The next position is the fifth position. The fifth position is our emotional truth. It's called the wave, and it's our emotional truth that needs to be felt right now. This is the Eight of Swords. Again, a lot of things. And we went through almost all the different elements here. We had the cups. We have 7 of cups, lots of emotion. We have the Eight of Wands. Now we have the Eight of Swords. We have all these different, the only thing we don't have here is Pentacles, which is funny because Pentacles is all about investing in something for the long term. It's about stability. And one thing we don't have here is stability. We have, you know, a lot of emotion, a lot of passion, a lot of air energy, mind energy. So I really feel like with the Eight of Swords coming out here is what emotionally needs to be felt at this time, or what's the emotional truth. This person's stuck in a cage of her own doing. She feels trapped by those swords, but really those swords are her mental prison. You know, she's trapped herself. And I feel like these swords all represent something that we got going on in our life. And there's so many of them and we feel trapped. Have you ever gotten in a situation like maybe you've gotten too many responsibilities at work, or maybe you have a job that that they keep asking and asking and asking of you, but you're challenged at saying no to them. You know, or you are in a relationship where you're giving and giving and giving, or that you feel like you can't escape, you know, whatever situation you have that feels like it's too much and overwhelming and you feel like you can't escape it. It could be that you're sitting in the fact that maybe you don't have enough income, and so maybe you're doing a lot and feeling like you're getting nowhere with all of what you're doing, but there's this feeling of stuckness, and that's the emotional truth. You feel like you know the things are too much right now, you know, for you to bear. There's this desire within you that says, I need to rest and pause. She's sitting, resting and pausing, but I feel like she's, you know, she feels almost like, I almost am feeling off of this image that even though she's sitting there thinking about 1,000 things that she needs to be doing. So she's not really taking a break. Her break is all about worrying and stressing out about all the things that she needs to be doing that she's not right now because she's sitting there. So let's go ahead and get into our last position. Our last position is the permission position. So this is all about, you know, kind of wrapping things up in a sense. It's what we should be doing at this time that maybe we're not, what we should be saying yes to, or what we should be giving ourselves permission to do. And we have the Four of Wands here, but I like the fact that I'm not so much drawn. The Four of Wands it can be a card of celebration, and I feel that's what's coming through. I love how, you know, I love that there's two people in the card. I love that they're smiling, looks like they're smiling and laughing and having a good time, and it can be, the Four of Wands can be a card of celebration, and I feel that's what's coming through. There's this need that maybe there's something that you need to celebrate. Maybe something's occurred in your life that you're not celebrating that you should. Maybe you know maybe you're trying to do a little, well, we already established that in this reading that there's maybe something going on around doing a little bit too much at this time. And there's this need to, maybe I did talk about work-life balance. So maybe maybe we've been doing too much, that we haven't had enough time to have some fun in our life. We haven't made the time to have some fun in our life. And so I feel like that's what's being asked of us at this time, if this reading is resonating with you, is there's this need to potentially, have a little more fun. Okay? So before we wrap things up, I do want to mention, if this reading has been resonating with you and you want to dive into other questions where you can really sit and evaluate and think about some things and have that introspection to really help you understand maybe some of the ways that why you do what you do, or to understand, how maybe, like, what may be limiting you or holding you back, or keeping you from having the life that you want to live, or living the way you want to live. I did write a book, We Are Not What We've Been Taught. It's available if you want to explore these topics further. That is available to you, as the link will be in the description. So I thank you so very much, and I wish you the very best. Have a good one. I'll see you on the next one. Mwah.